Welcome everybody. Well, if you could, what's the name of the what's the name of the case? Does anybody know? I don't want to get any spoilers, so I'm trying not to go anywhere. But if you have places, someone could tell me, that'd be great. Priceless murder. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Okay. Well, let's do this then. Whoops. Alright folks, Between this idiot, we are back. Let's head on to this next case. Oh, we got happy hour too. At the Place des Bosques arcade. Hey, so let's see, in the new parts of the city like this, Place des Bosques is a beautiful little spot in the Marais neighborhood. We've been tasked to be an extra set of security eyes because the Louvre dating app is launching a new feature tonight. They've set up hubs all over the city where users can give each other hearts or something, like an augmented reality. One of the hubs is this jeweler boutique here. Wait a minute, there's a man bleeding in the store and he's not moving. Let's go see if he needs help. Whoa. That doesn't look great. Alrighty. Well, and again, everybody, we have 6 more cases to go. So because we have 6 more cases to go, and I have $2 million, or 2 million coins in this, why not just load up all of my coins into this? Go max. There we go. I already have enough friends to get the 5+ hand, so I'm not doing anything there. But there's probably magnifying glass, sheet of papers over there. So toolbox is going to be there, and the flag's up there. Oh, well done. Well, this man is dead. I recognize him from the magazine ads I saw for this jeweler boutique. He's the owner, Jean-Yves Lemarchand. Of course, he looks much worse than in the magazine ads. That bloody foam around his mouth makes me think he was poisoned. But none of these cases are broken. All the jewelry on display is still here. This murder wasn't committed to stealing jewelry. What do we have in the way of leads? Well, there's this note signed by Lemarchand. Let's recover the rest of the note's text. And for the sake of thoroughness, let's check inside the victim's jewelry box for any clues. Who knew that coming to a place to budget for extra security for a dating approach would throw us into our next case? I did. I felt going here would lead to a murder. Ricky's man is killed before too many people start coming around for Love Fest. Love Fest. I'm sure I'm not the only one within this chat that was thinking that same thing. Wherever we go, murder follows us. Welcome everybody. Except from the victim says, Hawa, you can leave early tonight. I'll close the boutique. Hawa must be an employee here at the boutique. Let's see what we can learn from her. And before we do, we need to collect some stars. I'll see you guys back in a little bit. This is Virginia Horrible. Alrighty, everybody. Let's start cramming through this. Where's, oh my gosh, I was looking for a much bigger scarf. Yeah, Flora's still at mod. I reached out to her. She might be available to come on in one of the last cases. She's just busy with life. There's a lot of things going on in her life, and it's hard for her to get on during these times. So, actually, we're able to reach out to most of the individuals, and we're trying to put something together. Obviously, we're still like 2 months out from like the end date. So, but I think I'm going to want to have some sort of send off within the final case. So I'm going to figure out how that all goes. But I'm actually really excited to see how that plays out. But you know, we have a lot of awesome people that have joined over the years, and even some people that, you know, like Jonathan, you know, from like 4 or 5 years ago, you know, he said he'd try to make himself available. So just some really cool things. And so I'm thinking in that last case we'll have a little send off, or maybe we can make a separate video with everyone. We'll see. I know, again, time zones for everyone makes it a little bit more difficult, but there it is. Well, for those of you guys who are in previous seasons, I mean, the cool thing about that is it sounds like they're going to still, I mean, everything's going to be left up for you to play, so you can definitely play through some of this stuff. There's the gift. Golden Penguin, sure. That's right, Halloween is soon. Oh man, I forgot to wear it. I was gonna wear a mask. Oops. Alright. My mask is in Junior's room, so I can't go in there right now. Wasn't even thinking. I mean, so Halloween's been fun, at least in our little neighborhood. So in our little neighborhood, we have some people that have been decorating, which was a lot of fun. Um, and we've been going on walks at the end of the day. Um, Especially me, I've been going on walks with the boys um, around our neighborhood. Probably just half-hour walks. Maybe cover no more than like a half mile or something. Not a big one, but walking with the boys, seeing some of the decorations. There's not always a ton of people decorating, but there's enough. There's enough people that decorate. Hmm. Oh man. Yep. These crazy games that become fads for 3 months, 6 months. You have Fall Guys for a little bit. Now Fall Guys is out, so and Among Us has replaced it. Just all very interesting. What's a little mini Roblox? Yeah, I mean, if you guys play Among Us, I mean, yeah, it seems like a fun game. I mean, it's a fun game and it brings people together. I mean, that's the fun thing is that you can have some friends play. I mean, that's all cool. Um, Again, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I'm really old compared to a lot of people in chat. And so when you guys are in school and you guys have time, you guys get to play games. Um, I have a family and I have a job, and so most of my time is dedicated to both of those things. So yeah, I've not played Among Us. I literally, my day, especially during the week, Monday through Friday, is wake up at 5 a.m., go on an hour walk, like 3.5 mile walk with my dog, get home at 6:15ish, wake up the boys, get them ready for their missus sleep a little bit. At 7 o'clock, I hop onto work. I get off of work at 4 p.m. So, and then once I'm done with that, I help the missus with dinner, and I play with the boys for 4 hours. And at 8 o'clock when they go down, I watch about an hour worth of TV, maybe an hour and a half of TV, and I then go to bed. And I'm in bed by 9:30, and then I wake up at 5 a.m. the next day. That's basically my routine every single day, and I really enjoy it. And then like on the weekends, I am working, doing chores around the house, doing yard work, playing with the kids, doing all that stuff. And then when the kids go down for a nap in the middle of the day, or for rest time in the middle of the day, so do I. I usually take a nap in the middle of the day for like an hour, because the kids are exhausting. And again, there's like no time in my schedule that I can sit down and play a game. The only time that I've been able to play a game is at 3 o'clock in the morning for a criminal case. So, I mean, the fact that the only time I get to play any video games is from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. On a day is just, funny. But yeah, it's just, again, it's when you're 32 years old, you have responsibilities, you can get into the workforce, you do a lot of things. That's not unique. That's a lot of people have that once you get to be like, as old as I am. And work's been pretty fun. So really enjoying it. I mentioned it before, but my job is a project manager, essentially for mobile app development and website development. So it's quite fun for me. And I'm also what I've been getting into, which has been super productive, is process management. So finding ways to make people's jobs easier and also more well defined. Some people don't. Some people are doing the most optimal job that they can be doing. Seems simple. You would think it's simple. However, it's not simple. I'm amazed every day when I come into new situations and when I get brought in, how much I, just ask a certain question and the answers I get, I'm just like, oh, okay. So, again, I only have so much time to work on stuff. So, a lot of times, even now, we have a few process changes that we're working on, but it can take months because multiple people are working on things, and it's not just me that I have to coordinate. I have to coordinate with a whole bunch of other people, and but ton of fun when it comes to the fruition. When you've been working on a process and it finally gets picked up and you see how much it's saving people time and effort and you know, people give you feedback of like, hey man, this is great, you know, you're saving me, you know, even if it's just like 5-10 minutes a day, it's like, it's just super rewarding for me. Yeah, helping people is definitely fun. I love making things quicker, more efficient. Um, I used to do that for myself and realized that there's actually a good, there's a job market and there's something that you can do to make that better for everyone. So that's kind of cool. It may not be something that everybody knows about or is willing to do, but there's an opportunity there if you're good at it, um, which I think I'm pretty good at it. Teachers call cheating, students call teamwork. I mean, there's a balance, and I definitely used some teamwork back in the day. Shoot, I still use teamwork to this day, even in work. Um, it's just calling delegation of responsibilities. Um, but I do understand how in school they want individuals to work for themselves, because if you do split up those responsibilities, you may not be the expert in it. So I get where they're coming from. But once you get into the real world, you're gonna know your strengths, you're gonna know your weaknesses, and you play those. Um, Again, that's also something when it comes to my processes that I'll work on and implement, is with the various teams that I'm on. One of my main jobs, or one of my main focuses when I'm working with various teams, is to figure out the strengths of each team and make sure that you're playing to that, you know. So making sure that each team is optimized and, you know, their strengths are their strengths, wherever their weaknesses are, you try and cover for that, or you at least work with them in identifying their, you work with them to identify where their weaknesses are, so you can shore them up and make them better. So. All that being said, I'm very much in the development type realm, so I can do process in other areas, I've done it in other areas, but when it comes to development, that's where my expertise is in. I can do other things, but my expertise is in development. I hope they don't end it too sad, you know. What's up, Ari? Glad to see you here. I hope they don't make it too sad, because oops, sorry. I'm working, doing my real job, so don't usually do this, but we have a couple deployments today. with us and our teams, we utilize an offshore component, and they're in India. So for them right now, it's like 4 in the afternoon. So they're doing some deployments. I usually just wake up in the morning and the deployments are done. But today we have multiple deployments going, so I just wanted to make sure everything's going well. Yeah, Joe, I was thinking about that. I literally stopped getting pets because I thought that you only were able to get like one, you know? At least in the previous cases, you only unlocked one set of pets. So I wonder what these pets are going to be. And, you know, so I have not been getting elite mode. I'd rather be playing mobile or PC. I think mobile is better if I didn't have if I was doing this just on my own. For recording purposes, PC is way better, but I think my phone is where I'd actually say it's best, basically, because the tapping is a lot easier with your fingers than it is with like clicking the mouse. I think that's definitely the case. But I will say your phone's not going to be as big as this, so you got a lot more, area to select things. I think for you guys watching it, it's probably better from this rather than mobile. But Alrighty, guys. Let's get back into this. Alright, folks, we're back. Let's grab some stars. So, why not continue on? There we go. Tablet. Perfect. This is our victim's tablet. You found it out. Toolbox. Ace. Let's send the tablet to the lab to see if we can be able to find anything to help in our investigation. It's funny, Layla, my kids, the oldest one, sings like, "This is Halloween, this is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween." That person with the throwaway face. Mademoiselle Kamara, we found your boss, Jean-Yves Le Marchand, murdered earlier this evening. Bonjour, Le Marchand? Jean? But why? Did they rob the boutique? No, the merchandise was untouched. Found this note saying you could go home early tonight. Did you in fact leave early? I did, but if I known he was in danger, I would have insisted on staying. Maybe I could have kept it from happening. Well, how you can help now is to tell us everything that might point us to the killer. I have no idea who could have done this. Monsieur Le Marchand was well respected in the jewelry business. He was my mentor, teaching me all he knew. Very strict but effective. Thank you for your help, Mademoiselle Kamara. Hey, let's go look for clues outside the boutique. She's a nose ring. I'll bet you jewelry is a piece of the puzzle with this, in terms of a clue. Just gonna say that from like a suggestion. In this town we call home, everyone hail to the pumpkin song. Yep, you got me singing it. I mean, to be honest, the Nightmare Before Christmas creeps me the heck out. I do not like watching the movie. The movie is creepy. I don't like it at all. The music, however, fantastic. I like it. I love it. It's so great. Must be nice to work in a boutique here in the arcade and hear these sweet music every day. At least we get to enjoy while we go over the clues we found. There's a poster for the special Lover app event happening here, and there's the jewelry boutique's logo since it's a hub. So who's that pictured on the poster? Let's take a closer look to identify this man. And the scar's got the victim's initials embroidered on it. It's covered with a strange powder. Let's example this powder for investigation. Talking to the missus about this. My favorite Halloween movie or anything to watch at this point is not even technically a Halloween. It's Dia de los Muertos. I love Coco. Coco is like hands down one of my favorite movies. Just fantastic movie. Hey, so your victim received a very threatening email earlier today from an encrypted address. It says, I rather should have honed your limbs away and let you crawling on your stumps, I say, but now die fast. Yikes. Whoa, I should have cut off your limbs, but now die fast? That's definitely from our killer. That's definitely from our killer. So they want to give the victim a torturous death with an option for fast-acting poison, and hone your limbs away is strangely elegant in its wording. Yeah, I noticed that too. I did some poking around. It turns out the killer took those lines from a poem called Viradness, written by Victor Hugo. Oh, Victor Hugo's poetry to have pulled lit lines is specific. I think I could like to read because we'll soon be throwing the book at them. Victor Hugo, isn't he 20,000 Leagues? Is he that guy? Help me out. Who's Victor Hugo? I think he's 20,000 Leagues in Journey to the Center of the Earth, if I remember correctly. I ask you, Ace, what good is poisoning a jeweler or trying to steal his merchandise? I heard the victim's jewels were untouched. Yep, they were. Oh, getting ahead of these double entendres, I see. Yes, a strange murder indeed. I found cyanide mixed with the coffee in Monsieur Le Marchand's stomach, which means Le Marchand was going to go into convulsions, froth at the mouth, and die within minutes. So the killer poisoned his coffee. How awful. What else did you find in the autopsy? Well, there was oyster juice on the victim's finger, but he hadn't ingested any oysters with his coffee. That combination is almost a capital offense here in France. So the juice got on the victim's fingers from handling the coffee cup, which was also handled by the killer when they poisoned the coffee. I guess the killer was someone close to the victim, or at least someone close enough to access his coffee. Also means your killer is the one who eats oysters. Yeah. Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. Interesting. There's got to be something else. I know him from something else. Oh, Jules Verne. That's where I'm getting that one. Darn it. Thanks for correcting me. Victor Hugo. Oh, Victor Hugo. Isn't he Frankenstein? Is he Frankenstein? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm getting these things wrong. I just feel like Victor Hugo is someone that I've seen before, and he's written multiple books. Oysters are fantastic. I love me some oysters. The man on this poster is Sami Malouf, the founder of the Lover app. Let's speak with Monsieur Malouf about his apparent connection to the victim. Well, I don't know about oyster milkshake. I just like oyster shooters. Just get the straight oyster itself. Just get the straight oyster. Put a little bit of hot sauce on it, and then some of the mixtures. Oof, so good, so good. Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's what I remember him from. Okay, thank you so much. That's what I remember him from. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Thank you, Stevie. Now that you guys sampled the white powder from the victim's scarf, let's check it under the microscope. That's right. He did Quasimodo. That's how I remember him from. Gotcha. Makes sense. We call home. What pattern collection from the victim's scarf is rosin? From this. Oh, a string instrument to increase friction and improve the sound. You're right, we heard someone playing a cello when we searched the arcade. Let's go find that busker and see what they can tell us about the victim. Isabelle Picard. Hello, Isabelle. You're wearing jewelry? Not diamonds, but jewelry. Mademoiselle Picard, your music is very beautiful. Well, thank you. It's Bach. I always play his cello suite, #1 at this time of the evening, just as the night slips away. If you're here every day, then maybe you can tell us something about the scarf we found. It bears the initial of the owner of the jewelry boutique here. Oh, yes, Jean Ives. He gave me the scarf to keep me warm when the evenings became crisp. He says my playing gave a lively atmosphere to the arcade around the store. Fortunately, the lively atmosphere of the arcade has been interrupted. Monsieur Le Marchand was murdered this evening. Have you noticed anything strange while playing here tonight? Oh my goodness, what devastating news. The world has lost a good man. Haven't noticed anything unusual, no. People come and go. I'll play Bach Suite number 5 in C minor to mark this dismal occasion. It was his favorite piece. Okay. Come on, camera. Your focus on me. There we go. Bonjour, Malouf. We understand the Lover app made Le Marchand Jewelry Boutique a hub for the love fest happening right now. That's right, and for the next 48 hours, hearts given and received in the Lover app at those specific hubs are worth even more attraction points. Well, we've got bad news for the boutique's participation in your special event because Jean Ives Le Marchand was murdered tonight. Wait, murdered? Well, what about all the people who will come to the boutique to exchange hearts? Afraid they'll have to go elsewhere. Your love fest hub is now a crime scene. I'm sorry, yes. I'm so caught up in launching this new feature that I lost sight of what's important. A man has been killed. Please don't hesitate to contact me if I can help out in any way. Well, yep. So what's going to go on? Yeah, everyone seemed to. They seem to be nicer. Did you say hearts? I'll give you a heart if you give me one. Alright, well, let me go grab some stars. I'll be right back. This is Fishing TV. Au revoir. Alright, so let's go grab some stars. Yes, that is blood on the mouth. Because that's how he died from poison. So I'm too old for Tinder. That's probably something funny for you all in the chat. Is that I'm so old, and I've been married for so long that Tinder wasn't even an app when I was dating. I love all these 100 extra stuff, man. That's great. We call home to the pumpkin song. Ooh. We call home. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, the ranking within this is just not something something I really work through or worry about. That's a great comment. How in the world am I here? Most boring live stream I've ever watched. Bye. Well, to be fair, I really enjoyed it when we could play music. Made a lot of the dead time more fun, but unfortunately that's not the case. But that's a hilarious take. I mean, to be fair, what you're really watching is me just click around on the same screen over and over and over again with the collection of these stars. But usually if you stick around, you can actually get to the fun part, for me anyways, which is the actual crimes themselves. Well, and my goal of starting this like 3:30 is to so that I can be done and wake up with the boys and get them ready for their day and help the missus out as much as I can. Because honestly, she is amazing, and the fact that she she keeps them entertained, she engages them, she continually gets them to grow and like learn stuff. While I'm at work, or in my office for like 9 hours a day, usually at least 9 hours a day, working. So um, anything I can do to help her out in that sense is something I am happy to do and glad that I'm able to provide that type of help and allow her to like again even just she doesn't usually sleep, but just laying in bed, um, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of bummed that this is ending too. I mean, at the end of the day, all good things must come to an end. Things don't go on forever. Um, but man, the things I wish could have happened, you know, like, can you imagine if like when this was at its heyday? So like this was, we're talking, um, if Netflix or any of the streaming platforms were big, when this first came out, it was like massive. What if this became a TV show? Oh man, that would have been great. With Jones and Ramirez, like within a TV show. I mean, yes, please. That would have been fantastic. I would have loved that. That would have been so cool. I still think that this would have made a great TV show. Every single season being in like a new location. Oh man. Basically a better version of like CSI or any of those shows. Instead of having like a million CSIs, this type of a show, oh man, this one would have been great. Yeah, I think it was at its highest popularity probably in season 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I got almost a lot of my views from Pacific Bay and World Edition, basically. But I mean, that would have been so cool. Where's the guitar? Oh, hey, Justin. Well, that would be cool too. So, it may just be, and again, I don't know these things, but it could just be criminal cases going away and they're going to relaunch with like a new game or something like that. I have no clue. Are you guys getting any information from that? Like, is Pretty Simple still sticking around? Because this was like the only game that I know about that was like super successful with them. So are they going to be launching a new game? That would be cool. Alright folks, we are back. Let's go on to chapter number 2, where we have the lovers interrupting us. All here for the love fest. Yeah, hearts are worth more on the lover app for only 2 days. This is a crime scene. It's this love fest out of its off limits. Go somewhere else to trade your virtual heart. Aw, man. Okay, sorry. Now that we clear the area of the public, might be a good idea to take a look around the squares. Let's come through the place de vos guess and see if we can find any more clues. Ooh, they got a 44 score. Oh, they're working on a new game. Interesting. Link that ish up. Link that up, please. That makes me excited. What is it? Is it on their Instagram? Is it Twitter? Is it like what medium are they using for that stuff? Because I want to look that stuff up. This page you found looks like it was torn from an old book and it's got a poem on it. A Viradness, it's called? Why does that sound familiar? Yeah, it's a Victor Hugo poem where a killer quoted from the threatening email to the victim. It's probably left by our killer. Let's get a sample from the stain on it. What's so interesting about that brick? There is paper attached to showing the victim's name, so it looks like there's some text on it. Let's recover the message. Broken jewelry piece of calls be important. We should reassemble them. 44 score, 44 hearts. That's probably not great. Yeah, I do like the 24-hour happy hour. That's a lot of fun. Well, I know it's a different game, but link me up to the account. I mean, again, from a company perspective, I really like it, and I've really enjoyed working with them. So whatever game they're going to be going into, I definitely am interested in it. Great, Ace. Well, let's get you a sample you collected from the Victor Hugo poem to Enzo for examination. Ace is a jewel pendant. There's no inscription on the jewel. That says, "For Hawa, my rough diamond." Oh, brother. We should say diamond in the rough, but rough diamond is kind of a backhanded compliment. Was Hawa the one who broke it? And if so, why? Let's ask her. Statement was made. I think the statement that I saw was made on like the wiki or something. Hey Carrie, are we just gonna stay like this, pretending our date never happened? Well, after the way you acted, I thought you'd want it that way. Plus, I don't think it qualifies as a date. Well, it's just, I like you, Carrie, and I'm afraid I messed up. Well, you kind of did, but I'm not mad at you, and I like you too. I just don't think there can be anything between us right now. I respect that. Sorry for making it awkward. Ace, let me tell you about the substance you brought in. It's an air freshener chemical. Interesting detail is that it's an air freshener that's trademarked and only used in cars driven for Super, a chauffeur app. But there's also trace amounts of cyanide, which I know is the killer use on Monsieur Le Marchand. So that means the page Ace took the sample was definitely from the killers. It also means that the killer uses the Super app to get around, rather than Uber. Well, at least when we catch our killer, that chauffeur app won't do them any good. Now let's go do another search outside the victim's boutique. What's up, Hawa? You like being called a rough diamond? Mademoiselle Kamara, we found this pendant of yours broken. Could you tell us about it? Yeah, that was a gift from Monsieur Le Marchand. Just an example of his tough love, I suppose. Tough love? You mean it's backing the compliment he paid you about being a rough diamond? Yeah, I always did that. All I ever got from him were criticisms and pay cuts. I'm still learning the trade and I make mistakes, but even for my harmless errors, Monsieur Le Marchand made a penalty cost and took it out of my paycheck. As Victor Hugo wrote in a poem, enough my punishment to meet, you must forgive, I do entreat. But my boss didn't really do forgiveness. Why didn't you quit working for him? I considered it often. Every Wednesday at lunch I go for oysters at a place on Rue de Rivoli and think about never going back, but I couldn't give up the opportunity to learn from him. He was a master jeweler, and I worked too hard to get this job. Well, I hope you didn't decide to keep your job and lose your boss. So attached to the brick says, Jean Ives, Bach is forever dented. I will put a dent. Oh dear, we know who this is. It has to be the classical composer Johann Sebastian Bach, which means the notes from the cellist Isabelle Picard. Bach has been dead for over 200 years, so what does Isabelle mean that he is forever dented? Why is that the victim's fault? We have to interrogate Isabella about this strange threat. Yep, once we heard about Bach, it's like definitely gonna be her. Mademoiselle Picard, what did you mean when you wrote to Monsieur Lemonshot that he dented Bach, and why you didn't attach the message to the brick threatening to dent him? Oh, did he hurt your cello? He dented Bach and all the music I will ever play when he dented my instrument. Yep, how did that happen? He gave me a list of songs to learn to play for the Love Fest event, supposedly to attract more people, but his selections were the most vaporous, romantic trash in musical history. I refused, but when he told me to play the songs to leave, and when I refused to leave, Sean Ives grabbed my instrument from my hands and it fell to the ground. It is dented, my 200-year-old instrument, its voice enriched with age. Not even the whole of Victor Hugo's poetry can reflect the depths of this loss. So I wanted to communicate my anger in a way that Jean Ives would understand, tied to a brick. But I did decide to play some stormy piece on my injured cello to let my anger out instead. I hope this is as far as you took your message because cellos aren't allowed in prison. Oh, they aren't? I would think, I mean, it would be annoying for people that don't know music. But I think for music, that'd be actually kind of nice. Alright. Where's the other trumpets? Well, this is a big bag full of books. Given that it's right next to the crime scene, we should see if it contains a lead. This big box, there's a sticker on it addressed to the victim. Let's get it open and see what it was sent to him. Aha. Oh, Gulliver's Travels. Take. He said bag of books has a business card on it. The card is for a poetry scholar named Guillaume Travers. This Monsieur Travers must be the owner of this bag. Let's see if he can tell us anything about the murder. is 489. Well, that's definitely not the case. That's probably the case. Yep. Oh, that doesn't look good. Whoa, is that box is full of human skulls? Why the heck was this addressed to the victim? Gotta get this to Nani for examination. Oh, that's a monkey wrench. Like just got thrown in. Major Trevor, Secret Jays, I found your belongings here in the arcade. Thank you, I just believed in for the class of teaching tomorrow. It's a historical context course on Victor Hugo poetry. Interesting. Well, we're here investigating the murder of Jean-Yves Le Marchand, the owner of that jewelry boutique. Oh, murdered? What terrible news. I can't say I knew him well, but we were acquaintances. His boutique is right next door to Victor Hugo's historic house, which I visit often, and I even went once or twice to chat with Monsieur Le Marchand. Le Marchand was a fixture here in Place des Bosques, as indelible as Victor Hugo's lingering presence. Hope you get to the killer. I'm sorry, I must go prepare for my class tomorrow. Maybe jewelry isn't a clue. Hey, Michael. Well, Ace, I have to say I'm disappointed about this clue. Wait, our kinky corner are disappointed by a box full of skulls? Well, yeah, but they're not real. I thought you bought me a gold mine of macabre mysteries to solve. But all these are just realistic-looking casts in resin. They're very faithful reproductions, but there's also an artist's signature on the back of each one. Who's the artist? He's a German artist who specializes in the macabre, some of which I like very much. In fact, his name is Mark Hammerstein. Interesting. I wonder what this artist had planned when he sent our victim a box full of fake skulls. Let's ask him. Hey, Susan, thank you for watching me for so long. Appreciate you coming in to chat. Alright, well, that's a look I wouldn't recommend to other people. Mr. Hammerstein, you were investigating the murder of Jean-Yves Le Marchand. Could you explain this box of skulls you addressed to him? Those were meant to be seen by anyone until the work was finished, but I guess I'll have to tell you since you're law enforcement. Skulls are part of a project I was working on with Le Marchand. You're supposed to adorn them with black opals. The piece was to be a celebration of death's many facets, just as the black opal itself swirls with obtruse, reflected light and beauty. Now that I think of it, I might be able to salvage the piece as a tribute to Le Marchand, a commentary on one's unfinished business. Well, sounds intriguing. We'll be in touch if we have any more questions. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, what do we see? Something moved in the boutique. Oh, great. We gotta go get it. Let's go get it. Alrighty, guys. I will see you in the next chapter. Once I grab some more stars and pitching into 8. Over and up. Alright, let's go grab some stars real quick. I wonder if I can actually utilize 100 of the 6X's and have that cover like a whole case. Oh, maybe it's not like diamonds, but maybe it's just a nose ring. So you have to have a nose ring. That's interesting. Anyways, I can't remember who mentioned, but pretty simple. If they have a new game or a new Twitter account, please link it up to me. Send me in on Discord if you can. Let's see if we can get through this as quickly as possible, as always. Yeah. Well, just give me the name on Instagram. Just give me the Instagram, because if they're doing that, that means they're setting up for something. Yeah, so Stevie, let me know what their Instagram handle is. I know I can look it up on my phone. Oh, it's at Pretty Simple Games. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Alrighty. Interesting. Yeah, there's really nothing on that account. So it was created recently, or they just posted back in September 22nd, which is probably right around the time that they knew that they were going to be closing the stuff. So yeah, that's interesting. It's also interesting that if you look at their website, it does say that they're hiring for a marketing artist. So um, yeah, I'm wondering. It's interesting. That's fine, Gabriel. I may ban you if you continue to do that annoying, uh, you know, spamming of the stuff in chat. So I expect people in my chat to be nice and not be spammy. So, and believe me, I do not have an audience to where one person leaving, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, no, oh, you're so important. This is also not my real job, so I do this for fun. So if you're gonna be annoying, just leave. I don't have time for you. Go be annoying to someone else. It is super nice to have the 6X active the whole time. It probably shaves off a good 10-20 minutes. Probably 10-20 minutes. We're cruising on this, man. Alright. Just got a couple more stars to go, and then we can basically finish off the case. No, if you're talking Filipino food, oh my gosh, is it? I always forget how to say it. It's Pancit. Is it pancet, pancet, or panchet? I always forget how to pronounce it. But and yeah, it's because right now in the Philippines, it's like daytime or like nighttime, so you get a lot of that. But man, how do you pronounce that? 'Cause that's something that is so good. That was my favorite Filipino dish. Somebody here can help me how to do the pronunciation on that. It's been a while since I've had it, unfortunately. How do you pronounce pancet? Pancet, pancet, panchet. Pancit. That is by far my favorite Filipino food. I'm pretty sure. Pancit, pancit. That may be right. I used to always forget it, but I used to work with my first job, my first like real job. Um, I was like the only, probably like one of the only white people there. It was basically Filipinos and Mexicans, and it was an awesome work experience. It didn't pay well. I worked really hard, but it was awesome. But it was so great because lunch is there, and if you, I don't know, it's just the culture. So Spanish, Mexican culture, as well as Filipino, you mix both of those together. And whenever it was lunchtime, everybody would basically bring and do a potluck almost every single day. That was awesome. And I'd bring like again, like for the most part, I think I remember I'd always get like Subway. Like I'd always get a sandwich and stuff. But once a week, usually everybody brought in like food that they had cooked earlier in the day or just something like that. And it was just so good. So good. So good, so good. Yeah, I know it's late in Australia because that's why Jaya never gets on because it's really too late for her, or it's always too late for her, I should say. Boom, baby. Start chapter 3. Boom, welcome back, everybody. Oh, Secret Agent Ace, you startled me. Wait, Brigadier Bonnet. We thought you were the killer. What are you doing sneaking around the boutique? I wasn't sneaking around. Can we see if you need help keeping people away from crime scenes since Love Fest is still happening? Well, there were some people here earlier, Ace, but Ace made quick work of kicking them out. Oh, well, that's good to hear. We'll leave you to it then, Secret Agent Ace. I really thought you were killer returned to the crime scene. It was true that more people might show up for Love Fest soon. We better do this with the square before that happens. Alrighty. sailboat. Oh my gosh. Breaking sailboat. Camera over here. Jewelry. Oh, I see what the broken jewelry is. Gotcha. Maybe did I get my star? I did. He says a map of the victim's jewelry boutique. And look, there's something written on it. Let's recover the markings. And all those broken pieces you found, we should put them back together to find out what they are. What's this little device? The camera? There's probably something recorded on it. We've got to unlock it. Yes, we can. Oh, secret package to his library. That's interesting. Ace, the drawing on the map mentions a secret passage, and the passage leads to another room labeled Hugo's library. You're right. Monsieur Travers had mentioned that Victor Hugo's house was next door to the boutique. Do you think there's a secret passage between the two? So ask Monsieur Travers about this map. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Super sneaky too. Oh, this is one of the skulls. That's what this looks like. Oh wow, it's a fantastic skull. The jeweled skull. It's just like the art piece that Mark Hammerstein said he was working on the cloud with the victim. He didn't tell us any skulls were actually finished, but this one clearly was. Why was it broken? So Mr. Hammerstein can tell us about this. Oh, I can tell you. The owner of the jewelry store thought it was grotesque and hideous, threw it on the ground, and pissed off at the artist. Oh man. Alright. I think if that's one camera unlocked, let's get 2 million to see the footage. Oh, let's do it. We're in chapter 3. We're getting close to this, man. Getting that 6x through the whole thing, man, just makes it fly. Monsieur Travers, do you know anything about this map? Shows a possible secret passage between Monsieur Lemarchand's boutique and Victor Hugo's house. Yes, I am certain the secret passage exists. Hugo hinted at the secret passage in his poem Mentano when he wrote, "Along the back wall of thy cellar, nay, there be some odd thing hidden away." But he needed access in order to discover the truth. The documents of Victor Hugo's house denied the existence of such a passage. If I could conduct my search from the other side of the wall in Lemarchand's boutique, I could prove the passage exists. Would you approach him about it? Yeah, and he's threatened to call the police, which would cut me out from any further research and ruin my career. So I tried to share a supercar with Lemarchand's assistant and ply her with a gift voice, and she called me a creep. You do kind of look like a creep, dude. Maybe you should get rid of that mustache. Who knows what's waiting to be uncovered in that secret passage? This would be the discovery of the century. Alright, but if you murdered him, you won't have the right to explore any place but a prison cell. Nah, that nose ring, you might. Chat might be right, that might be a clue. Mr. James, we found that movie only to one of your art pieces, but it was broken. That is not one of my creations, it's a facsimile. You're already familiar with the project involving 365 human replicas to be adorned with polished black opals. Well, we assume that this is one of them. It isn't, or I would never have crushed it to pieces. The black opals affixed to the skull are fake. Lemarchand planned to keep the valuable stones for himself. I believe the right words to describe these imposter stones that con artist Lemarchand can be found in Hugo's poetry, for they are falsely seeing the purity of this black soul. Now I have a super to catch for a very important oyster dinner with another artist. Thanks everybody for telling me exactly what I need to know. Scallops are phenomenal, that's for sure. Just had them the other day, phenomenal. Meal was a footage of the camera ace found helpful for our case? Yes, definitely. Here, take a look. Monsieur Le Marchand, admit you are an imposter. How dare you make an accusation? I'm Jean-Yves Le Marchand. I'm a highly skilled jeweler. One of my claims is fraudulent. I have no problem with you claiming to be a jeweler, but I do have things that claim you would claim to be me. What on earth are you talking about? You think you know my business without affecting yours. You got another thing coming. Well, that's some confrontation there between our victim and Sammy Malov. And I can tell you it's clear from the side of the camera that this recording was made without Monsieur Le Marchand's knowledge. But does this fight make sense to you? We know his boutique agreed to be a hub for the lovers app event happening right now, which means that if app users go to Le Marchand's to give each other hearts in the app, the hearts will be worth double. We didn't know that this deal between them had gone sour. Let's ask Monsieur Maloof about this. That was like Pokemon Go, man. Getting some sort of a sync to where they became Pokestops, massive. Monsieur Maloof, we found the video you recorded of your confrontation with Monsieur Le Marchand. Care to explain? Yes, Le Marchand was a greedy fraudster, as you know, and we agreed that this would be the hub for the Love Fest hard exchange going on. We also arranged this with many other businesses, but Le Marchand took it upon himself to call those other businesses, impersonating me, and convince them to cancel. Oh, so that everybody would just come to him. He'd get all the attention, of course. But how do you know it was Monsieur Le Marchand who made the calls? Because the manager of my favorite oyster bar around the corner got one of those calls. The caller claimed to be me, but my friend could tell it was Monsieur Le Marchand. But the other businesses were still full and canceled their participation. I've been taking supercars all over trying to tell them the truth. But Le Marchand ruined everything for Love Fest. I'm not happy he's dead, but I'm glad he won't benefit from any of my hard work. Ooh, snap. Wow, he's covered bad blood. Apparently, he called around. Yeah, that's super shady. Super shady. And he was a super greedy jeweler trying to make all the money. So obviously, it pissed off a bunch of people. Oh, handbag, trash can, shocker. The final clue is in the trash bag. And the coffee cup. Ah, interesting. Interesting last clue. Ace, is that victim's coffee mug? Yeah, I see the killer poison in the victim's coffee. So we click the sample, see what else we can learn. You're right, the killer might dish something in the trash. We'll take it through clues. For Ace, we're getting closer to making Le Marchand's killer a jewel in our crown. Well, how much you want to bet in the trash is like a nose cleaner or something, a nose ring cleaner? Oh. Ah, there we go. Poison bottle. Yep. Well, and let's check it out to make sure it's the killer poison, see what you can learn from it. Perfect. I love how the skull is part of the, you know, steam coming up from the coffee cup. That's very clever. Huh. Yeah, you know, man, criminal case coming to a close is kind of bittersweet for me because On one hand, I'm going to be able to sleep more, but I do miss seeing chat and playing these games and stuff. So, excellent. I still got a sample of the videos we're talking about. Listen to the lab. And so, Trace is the kill leave when they poison the victim's coffee. Well, remember that the kill left oyster juice in the mug itself? But in the coffee, along with the poison mouse, found some skin cells that weren't the victims, but the killers. Ah, someone with curly hair, which your victim didn't have. Ah, this is the neighbor, Victor Hugo guy. It's gotta be. Great news, and the kill was left with a trace in the cell of the bottle, right? They did. Soaked into the label was a solution. Saline trip. I was right. I was right. Nose piercing. Actually, you guys were right. One nose ring. Interesting. Actually, I don't think that guy had a nose ring. It's not him. Oh, really? Interesting. Oh man, he got pissed. Now I think it was a Hammerstein. You're arrested for the murder of Jean-Yves Lamarchand. Wait, what? Why would I murder a collaborator on an art piece? Our investigation showed that Lamarchand was a difficult person to work with. Clearly the same goes for your art project too, knowing that he swapped out your valuable opals for fakes. Maybe he just pushed you too far and you decided to poison his coffee to get back at him. It wasn't to get back at him, he refused to return my very valuable black opals, even after I discovered what he'd done. So wait, you killed him? No, I tried to cut a deal with him. I suggested that we make even more skulls using his fake opals. And we could sell those fake pieces at the show, where the skulls with the real opals would be on display. Fake stones or not, my fans would pay plenty. But Lamarchand had already sold off my real opals. He had my future by the stones. I'd be ruined. It was the ultimate double cross. So I pretended to forgive him. I told him we'd use the fake opals and go forward with the project. And then you murdered him? Yes, the ultimate poetic justice. I put cyanide in his coffin and I planned to come back after he was dead to collect the head. His skull would become the centerpiece of my show. It was the only way I could make up for what he'd done. Well, Mr. Hammerstein, French law doesn't even allow an eye for an eye, so your head for some opals transaction will fly. You're under arrest. 45 years. Monsieur Hammerstein, you were charged with the murder by poisoning of Jean-Yves Lamarchand. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor. I knew one day my art would get me in trouble. Your art has nothing to do with our presence in the courtroom today. We are here because of your petty act of murder in response to a personal injustice. Oh my gosh, in response to this murder, your court sentenced you to 25 years in prison? Clementine, we had so much high hopes for you in the first district. You have just... She started here with her sentencing, and she's now down to here. I mean, 25 years in prison. Great. Wow, as we learned over the course of the case, Lamarchand was difficult to work with, but apparently he was not as difficult as Hammerstein. I understand being angry that Lamarchand defrauded him by switching out that and selling the stones, but responding with murder is intense. At least there aren't any murders running around people at the place devolves for Love Fest. Let's see. There we go. Stevie, you're on now. At least now there aren't any murders running around among people at the place. True, I wonder how Love Fest is going. Emil using the app, isn't he? I'd be curious to learn more about that. I wouldn't mind getting on some of that Love Fest action myself. I'm sure everybody would. Stevie just block people. Yeah, we can go actually all the way over into here. So, hey, so I'm glad you caught the person who poisoned Jean Le Marchand. Because the boutique was one of the big hubs for love that's going on right now, and I was hoping to participate. I meant to ask about that. What is Love Fest all about? We learned a little bit from the lovers, that founder, Sammy Malouf, but we didn't have time to get into too much detail. I'm looking deeper into how it works, actually. If you want to take a look, feel free to join me. I'll come with you, Ace. I'm curious to learn more. And Ace, you know I was looking for Macaron's game when I was 16 years old and I wanted to get out. So I'm as happy as anyone that Macaron is finally behind bars, but there's something I'd like to talk to you about when you got a moment. Sure, Cody, let's go somewhere to talk. And Ace, don't forget to check in with the meal, too. Follow your hearts. Yep, might have more mods coming too, so we'll see. Ace, as I said, I'm glad I could help you put Macaron in prison, but now I'm worried about Macaron's guys are going to try to frame me. I don't like the sound of that, Cody. What did they have on you? When I first joined the game, Macaron asked me to hold out my hands. He poured a pouch of jewels in them, and he said this could be the rest of your life. Then, of course, he put me them back in my pouch. I thought it was harmless, show-off gangster stuff. I was only 16 and easily impressed. My buddy in the gang told me that Macaron did that to get my fingerprints on the jewels, so if I ever double-crossed him, he could frame me as a jewel thief and put me in jail. Oh, great. He still has those jewels? Yeah, and I hear that apparently a clue was left at the Place de Bosque's arcade for Macaron's guys to know where to pick them up. All I know is the clue will be hidden on a wall, whatever that means. We're on it, Cody. Ace, we gotta go get that clue before Macaron's goons get to it. Let's head there. I'll talk to them all. So Ace, I've been looking into the Lover app and trying to figure out the algorithm for the new Hearts feature launch for Love Fest. Yeah, what are the Hearts things in Love Fest all about anyways? Well, as far as I can tell, Love Fest is about connecting with other Lover app users in the city. The app shows you when other users are nearby. And then you can look at their profiles and send them a heart if they're interested in them. And then for the 48 hours during Love Fest, hearts are worth more than normal. Well, yeah, what does it mean worth more? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think having a higher heart rate means you show up at the top of the search. Problem is, Ace, I completely spaced on the phone in the place to votes, which means I could lose all my progress in the app. Could you go find it for me, please? Of course. Now that's clever. That's clever. So if you have, the higher your heart rating is, the more higher you do in searches, so you're not all the way at the bottom. I mean, granted, it should be based on looks in terms of what people like about you, but it is an interesting concept that you incentivize people to pay to get basically to the top of the app. That's interesting. Oh, Pixel Monster. We got Space Invaders. Interesting. Ace Goose, if the clue has falsely incriminating evidence, would be hidden on the wall. It sounded strange when he said it, but this mosaic piece of tree art you found on the wall could be what that meant. It came off the wall super easy, so it was clearly meant to be temporary, and there's something written on the back. Let's recover the text. Well, and also we've been looking at that crime scene quite a bit, and I never saw Space Invaders. Okay, so the merchant's shiny fingers in a safe place. The text on the back of the style strip said the merchant is shiny James's fingers in a safe place. So it mentions Cody by name, but what does that message mean? Send the message to Jean-Philippe and see what we can glean from it. Jean-Philippe, the message on the street already each pound says the merchant has shiny James's fingers in a safe place. Do you know what? How this would tell Macaron's gang where he hid the evidence? First of all, I know that James is your brother. And knowing Cody's story about Macaron showing him the jewels, it's clear that shiny James' fingers code for the jewels with Cody's fingerprints on them. Yeah, I got that part. In a safe place is literally meant are in a safe place. So what's the merchant? Monsieur Lemachar's last name translates literally to the merchant. His boutique is where you'll find the safe. Got Cody's fingerprints on file, so you can use this to compare against the jewels when you found them. Well, all we need to do is convince Lemachar's assistant to take us a look. Let us take a look. Oh, she should be able to. I don't know why she'd say no. And also tomorrow, we have reason to believe the jewels illegally obtained by the gangster Antoine Marco are being stored here in the boutique. Bonjour. Monsieur Lemachar keeps a special safe, but I didn't know it was for anything illegal. And wait, didn't Antoine Marco just go to jail? He is in jail now, so Grange and I are gathering further evidence of his wrongdoings. Did you direct us to the special safe? Of course, it's right here in the showroom, but Monsieur Lemachar insisted he be the only one to access the safe. So I'm sorry to say I don't have the code. Well, that's no problem. Grange Ace is an expert safe cracker. Well, it's all yours, and we had gotten snacks from people coming to the boutique full up as feel free to snack while you search the safe. Will do. Oh baby. Boom. Boom. Mic drop. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh wow, that's the secret safe, right? Brand spanking in the middle of everything. Well, super well hidden. Yep, we're just supposed to go to open it. I'm sure you can crack it. Of course I can. Of course I can crack this stuff. Alright. 58588. 5668 16815. Boom, shakalaka. Well done. Ooh, there's some jewels. Look, there's patch of jewels inside. Our interpretation of the message. There are already fingerprints on the jewels. The fingerprints of the jewels match Cody's prints on the file. That means we got Macaron's blackmail material. Let's go tell Cody the good news. So legit, he only had one place for one person. My guess is he's probably hidden them over all various jewelry shops. That's how I'm going to rationalize this. We found the jewels. Seriously, so relieved. Thank you, Ace. Now clean your prints off these jewels and get them back to Hawa. Cool, and as far as me, I should still stay low for a bit because Macaron's guys will get looked up to mess me up. That's a good idea. Of course, we can always help if you run in trouble. Thanks, sis. Eleanor's keeping her eyes and ears open to protect me from the dad scheme, too. Because you've done me this huge favor, take this as a thanks. I won't say no to money, usually. Nice smartphone. Cap and flag. Here's Emil's phone. Hey, before we get back to him, let's try giving out some hearts to see if we can boost Emil's heart score. Let's examine. was 44, so you got the 44. We got hearts for people we gave hearts, and yeah. Let's get Emil's phone back so we can take a closer look. Hey Emil, Ace and I couldn't resist trying the app out on your phone, so we got you some extra hearts. Magnifique, Ace, merci beaucoup. Definitely increases my chance of finding a match on here. Now, what I've known from the day is that the hearts aren't the only factor contributing to people's popularity on the Lover app. What's the other variable? You can't tell, but I think it has something to do with profile photos, actually. I found that profiles with more photos tend to have stronger scores. I contacted Melody Lawrence, a sociologist who devised Lover's Heart feature, and she agreed to talk to me more about how it works. You come with me to see Melody, Ace? She's cute for you, Emil. She's super cute. Hello, Secret Agent Ace. Nice to meet you. Thanks for meeting us, Mademoiselle Lawrence. Just curious about the inner workings of the new Hearts feature. Please call me Melody. The feature's something I like. Came up with myself when I got sick of going on dud dates with people I met online. I think I was meeting someone with a lot of qualities and stuff, you know, and then I get there and it was like a disappointment, sad trombone. So how does the heart feature solve that problem? Well, it ranks according to heart rating, and as you know, it uses facial analysis and user scores go up based on how symmetrical their faces are. That sounds strange and unfair. No symmetry supposedly plays into attraction, but there's so many other factors that play when people fall in love. Oh, I know. It's just another feature we add. People like pretty people, you know? But hey, I gotta go. But here's Secret Agent Ace. Have these lover shades. They look hot on you. Oh, brother. Well, Ace, Melly told us a bit more about Lover's Heart features, and that makes a little more sense. She comes off as a bit of an airhead, but I guess she must be smart to have to come up with those complex features like rating someone based on facial symmetry. Yeah, analyzing for symmetry, that seems unnecessary, but honestly, I guess if they want the app to give off a certain image. Speaking of image, Cody's image is safe from getting tarnished by Macron's influence. How about let me a cleaning solution to eliminate all the traces of Cody's fingerprints from those gems that were keeping to frame him from robbery? I just gotta make sure they don't try getting him some other way. Indeed, and luckily Macron getting behind bars lightens our workload for the moment. You know what we should have done? We have him in prison. Get his fingerprints, put his fingerprints on those diamonds, put them back in the safe. Macron's game picks him up, turns him over to the police, frames him. Antoine gets even more in trouble. That would have been good. That would have been clever. It probably takes a little bit of effort, but that would have been hilarious. Anywho, everybody, we get to do the new crime in 2 weeks. So again, it's looking like we have 17 cases. So we have a couple more to do, 2 more in this area. So this has been Fishing Case 88. Thank you all for coming along. Take care. Au revoir.